I start to put tension on my string to draw back. I was like, okay, I'm gonna smoke.
It's him. You can look at the horns when he's dead. I'm in the zone. Let the arrow go, just perfect.
When they lose their front shoulders and you start, that's how you know there's smoke.
Went about 5-10 more yards. He probably went 20 yards total, tipped over, tried getting back up, and I saw him fall over.
We rough scored him here in the garage that night. We got like 156 and something like that, and then the next day we came up to 163 even.
You're listening to the White Cat Outdoors podcast, bringing you to the table where we talk about the outdoors.
Wild. Does that gets you friggin' pumped for a podcast, does it not?
Yeah, I still can't get over
A
it.
little chilly.
Yeah, it's good stuff.
Tom, you think pretty sweet, isn't it?
Oh, it's great. I love it.
Yeah,
It's good stuff.
Yeah, great way to bring in episode 55. If you know
absolutely.
what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So, like I said, episode 55, we're back. We haven't been in the studio since before Christmas. We banged out a couple episodes just so we didn't have to worry about being in studio over the holidays, so we could spend
It's the
time.
first time we've ever had backup.
Yeah.
It's been wild.
Yeah.
One episode.
Yeah, just so we could hang out for Christmas. So with that being said, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year to all
Merry
you
Thermos.
guys. We're happy to have you back here listening to us. And Nick has some stuff to talk about.
Yeah, we got a little housekeeping. Or sweep the floors up real quick. Good news. We hinted towards it, I believe, on the last episode, 1 year of podcasting, that we may have some shirts, hoodies, kind of thing flowing in through.
Merchandise.
And there's no longer a rumor. When you're hearing this Sunday, that week we will be launching merch for order. So get ready for that.
Keep an eye on the gram.
Yeah. Get your piggy bank, empty it out. We're going to be doing shirts, sweatshirts, some 3/4 sleeve baseball tees, all kinds of stuff, different designs. It's going to be fun. So help support us that way when that gets launched. So just keep an eye on Instagram and
Tell
go
your
from there.
friends.
Yeah, tell your friends. Leave something in the comments, right, Tom?
Yes, please.
That's so funny you say
Yeah,
that.
somebody literally...
Someone sent us a message on Instagram the other day. He's like, I know you said to leave it in the comments, but I figured this would be easier. So he did message us and acknowledge that it was a comment.
Can we give him a shout out?
Yes.
He deserves it.
It's Jason Arquilla, I think. Or John Arquilla. Sorry about that, John. I knew it started with a J, though.
Knew it started with an S, though.
John Arquilla. So...
Yeah, we really appreciate that. It's really cool to hear from guys.
Actually, we got a formal invite to have a beer with him
Yeah.
the next time we're through Ohio. So that's pretty cool. I told him we're no strangers to dive bars in Ohio. So
Yeah, definitely not.
actually, funny story. We'll just, because this is the way we do it here. I don't know if it might have got talked about, but none of you guys were probably listening back in like episode 3 when me and Frank were in Ohio.
That was one of our best episodes.
Yeah, sure was.
It was not.
A lot of great reviews.
Me and Frank were at this dive bar, and the power went out, and nothing changed at the bar. Like, literally, everybody just continued on, like the power didn't go out. Like,
No one acknowledged that it happened.
yeah, there wasn't even like the power's out. Like, it literally, like, bartender came back, can I get you guys anything to drink? Like, literally nothing changed, except everybody was drinking in the pitch black.
Yeah.
It was wild. But yeah, so next time we're in Ohio, we got a buddy to drink with. So that's pretty cool. Appreciate you reaching out to us and letting us know you enjoy the podcast.
Yeah, for sure.
So
I think that about wraps up all the housekeeping and
Floor
the
is
happy
clean.
holidays and whatnot. So we're gonna get right into the meat and potatoes of this episode. And we talked about it before a couple weeks ago, back when we ended.
they said it wouldn't happen.
Yeah, we did say that when we ended the deer camp series. We said if Nick ever happens to shoot a deer, we'll do an emergency deer camp series just for
They
Nick.
said that couldn't be done.
And it got done. Someone finally got the job done with the muzzleloader.
He did, big time. So that's what this is about, everybody.
We couldn't be more proud.
Come on,
I
have
know.
a seat. Join us, crack a beer. Even if you're at work, I won't tell anybody.
Was a picture of this
Oh, it's been on the
already
gram.
posted?
Yeah. Problem is, he was pretty dominant and did a lot of rubbing this year, and actually rubbed off his main beams. Only had brow tines.
Unbelievable.
He looked just like a spike.
Yeah, it was. Like I said, it's
a New York
unfortunate,
buck.
but when it was a New York buck. sometimes that happens with those dominant deer. They get so aggressive, they're sharpening up their tines. And actually, a mature buck does start to realize that they're more lethal with just 2 stickers instead of an entire rack getting in their way. They can get through trees quicker.
Well, not only that, you have the inside advantage.
Yeah.
You can easily get those 2 spikes inside another deer's rack.
So I don't know if it was either a combination of that or we talked about it in the past. Actually, this is good we bring this up because shed season is right around the corner. Somebody probably picked his sheds up and kept them last year.
Yeah, so he never got to grow anymore.
Yeah, he didn't get to put them back on and keep them growing. He had to start fresh. So that was unfortunate. But nonetheless, I got it done with the spike.
Yeah. So why don't you take it all from the top and tell a real story now?
Yeah, that was a tall tale. Paul Bunyan was there. So let's see here. Let's back up before Christmas. We our family, we celebrating Christmas and everything, and my birthday's right after Christmas.
Happy birthday, Nick.
Yeah,
thanks. I forgot about that in the happy holidays thing. I forgot to throw the happy birthday in there.
Yep, that's all right. Kind of just gets matched in there with Jesus' birthday. But anyways, so Tom actually hooked me up with a muzzleloader, an inline muzzleloader, which is legal up in New York.
You're disgusting.
For Christmas and my birthday. He gave it to me early because, we were coming up on the last weekend, and Tom wanted to get me up there because I don't have an inline, obviously.
A couple weeks before this, I texted Nick and I said, hey, I believe it was the 17th was the night of the hunt, right?
I don't remember the date.
Let's just call it the 17th. And I texted Nick, this is back like December 10th. And I said, hey, you have plans December 17th. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, you have plans, he's like, you can't just tell me I have plans and not tell me what I have going on. I'm like, just trust me on this one, Nick. You're busy.
You're going to love it.
And he's like, all right, whatever. So fast forward a few days.
Yeah, Tom gives me, I think Monday night, Tom gives me the muzzleloader, said, Saturday, your plans are we're going muzzleloader hunting. And so I was like, all right, I'm down.
You should have been like, I made plans.
Yeah. So, but he's like, deal is you got to sight this baby in. Because I've never shot an inline. This one, I put the scope on in the kitchen. So I had to sight her in. Took the target out at 50 yards. Got it. So I was hitting the cardboard. I hit cardboard first shot, so wasn't too bad. But a total of 4 shots, and I was dead nuts at 100 yards and ready to rock. So Saturday, I think, I don't think we hunted Saturday morning, did we?
No,
we didn't hunt Saturday morning. I don't know why, honestly.
I tell you what, it was the 18th because we had Carly's birthday.
Oh, you're
Friday,
right.
No, Thursday night. Carly's birthday was a Thursday, which was the 17th.
Yeah, Friday we were...
18th we were there, so 19th was the actual date of the hunt.
Tom's back
Got
on
it
math.
all
You gotta be
figured
careful.
out.
Yep.
So anyway, Saturday morning we didn't hunt. A little slow to getting up. But anyways, we made it up to the farm about noon. Had some delicious calzone and headed out to the woods. And me and Tom were sitting at the table, we're trying to figure out where we want to hunt, what our expectations were. And, I asked Tom because me and Frank did a lot of like the fertilizing and putting the lime out and stuff, but Tom was the one that actually put all the seed in. And we got quite a few food plots between the farms, so I was trying to pick Tom's brain on which one had some turnips in it and stuff, and he had directed me towards what we call the hidden food plot, and that was the one that had turnips. So I said, well, that's where I'm going to end up then. We got a stand in there earlier this year. We had moved it out of a pine tree to the other side. And Tom had asked me, what are you shooting tonight? And I said, I feel bad for anything that comes out to that food plot because it's getting smoked. And I've made that comment many times, and I get back to the cabin, and I saw a deer that I didn't shoot. But this time I really meant it. I said, I think I told him anything. There's a very small spike up there. Button buck, but he's got like 1 inch, like sharp spikes, actually. It's kind of...
He is a hard-horned
6-month-old.
6-month-old.
Yeah.
Either that or the smallest 1.5-year-old spike I've ever seen.
Yeah. Anyway, so I told him besides that or like a fawn,
Yeah.
we're laying one down. because we've had the cabin for almost 3 years now, I think.
Yeah.
And I have not put a buck down up there. And let me tell you what, it makes camp hell.
Yeah, we make fun of them a lot.
Yeah, we scan the room of bucks on the wall quite often, and I've got an empty plaque. So I told Tom that that's no more. I know one's going to come out to this food plot. So
Just give the setup of this food plot, because it's really a thing of beauty.
So you go any way you access it, you're going to walk through a lot of mature hardwood, like just mature timber. You know,
a lot
there's
of old cherries.
Yeah, a lot of old cherries. You're going to go through an old gas well, and you get back into you follow like a stream back, and then just off the side of this stream before it gets dammed up from the beavers, we opened up a little food plot there. And it's taken a few years of a lot of lime because the ground's so acidic back there. But we now have a good food plot that actually has some good soil that we can, put turnips and brassicas, chicory, and that kind of stuff through there. But anyway, so it's like literally like there's a stream that runs right along the one edge. Like if a heavy rain, it floods the one side of the food plot. So I mean, it's right there, but it's pretty secluded all the way around it. And we've got a stand and a poplar right off the side now. Really like easy access. You don't have to get into the food plot to get in your stand.
That creek Nick was talking about, on the back side of that creek, right from that creek, goes up a big hill, and
It's a solid incline right up to a big cut cornfield.
Yeah, and they love bedding on that hill. And on the other side of the food plot, it's the beaver swamp, and there's some high goldenrods and red brush, and it's nasty thick. So it's
a good little spot that you're going to catch deer moving early because it's so close to bedding, and I'm almost surrounded by bedding. So like we didn't put a lot of pressure in there. There hasn't really been anybody hunting it much. So I snuck in there, and I was just watching that field. I remember it was cold. And it was really cold that day.
windy too.
Windy.
I was in an open field and had nothing to block the wind.
But so I remember that much, and then I'm kind of sitting there, and I look up, and coming down the hill is two deer. I could tell one was a buck, and I got real excited because I'm like, it's happening. It's finally
gonna all pan
and I'm
out.
literally like, I see this spike because I put my scope up on him, and I see it's a spike. And like I said, he's had about to be truthful, he had about 7.5, maybe 8-inch spikes. I mean, pretty big
Nice
spikes. Yeah, in terms of spikes, it's a pretty good spike.
Everything you're looking for.
Massive body.
Yeah, I mean, for what a spike is, a pretty good body. But I'm not gonna sound like an idiot by saying it's got a big body. Massive body on this thing. You wouldn't believe it.
Massive.
But anyways, so I see this spike in this doe, and I'm already saying, screw Frank and Tom. They can't say shit any longer. Like, it's over. And this guy gets he was actually underneath the pine tree that we used to have a stand in. And that's at about 40 yards. And I got the muzzleloader, so I'm like, all right, there's no sense in rushing this, because it's pretty thick along the edges of the food plot and stuff. I said, he's coming down to feed. It's obvious. So we're just going to wait. I'm going to let him feed until he turns broadside and gives me a shot. Like, that's basically, I'm not going to
rush him at all.
Yeah, there's no reason to, take a marginal shot. I'm like, he's coming down here to feed. It was probably, 4 o'clock, 4:15, somewhere
So
in
you
there.
had all the time in the world left.
Yeah, it wasn't like it's last light or anything. I still had an hour of daylight easy. And it only took 2-3 minutes for him to turn broadside at about 30 yards. And he was actually right behind a poplar tree right in front of me. And I said, he just was working broadside. And I said, as soon as you step past that, you're going to get it, So safety was off as soon as I saw him out of the pine tree, to be truthful with you. I just popped it off right away. And the other doe was just kind of chilling with him. And they were just walking through. He crossed over that pine tree the poplar, and put it, just right on that crease of his shoulder blade there. I was shooting 50 cal hollow points. So I knew it was going to do some damage.
Yeah.
But I shot, and immediately his left front leg just locked up into his chest, just locked, and he took off like a rocket. But I knew, I could see blood almost immediately, and that leg literally was just locked up, like it was just paralyzed. So I'm like, he's done. He ran about 20 yards, tried jumping the creek that's on the edge of the food plot, and didn't make it. He biffed hard and didn't move after that. So it was over real fast. Tom texted me right away, said buck or doe, and I said buck, and he said I'm on my way. So Tom comes like barreling down this hill, like running down, and he gets, and you can still see. I mean, Tom got to the bottom of the food plot, like at the hill, and he could see the buck laying there. I mean, it was already.
Yeah.
And actually, Tom said, "I thought you said you shot a buck." Yeah, he pulled one of those on me. So we got up to it, and it had actually, from tripping on the crick, it literally like buried its tines into the dirt, like in the snow. So you couldn't see them from where we were at.
Yeah.
I literally had to like pull them out of the mud. But we got them all cleaned up, and that hollow point did some damage. It literally,
Yeah, I would imagine.
I cut the diaphragm open when I was gutting it and literally just poured it out. Like it was literally just toast. It was really nice. Really happy with the old muzzleloader. We thank Tommy for that for sure, because that was a really cool Christmas and birthday combo. And,
Heck yeah.
And then to take it out, first time hunting with it, get my first buck at the Climber. It was a pretty wild time.
Yeah, definitely a really fun, solid hunt.
Yeah, I called Frank right away.
I could tell, like, immediately you called me. You called me before Tom even made it down.
Yeah, I called
you.
Tom was aware of it first, but I was
Yeah.
waiting for Tom to come down, and that's when I called you.
Yeah, and I could, as soon as you, like, I answered the phone, you're like, Frank. I was like, oh man, you shot one, didn't you? Like, immediately I could tell by your
I tell you
voice.
what, I've shot a lot bigger bucks than this one. I've shot I'm not a seasoned hunter, but I've got quite a few bucks under my belt for my age, I think.
Mm-hmm.
And I tell you what, I was just as excited with this spike as I was my big 7. And any of the 8 points I've killed, like it didn't, for whatever reason, like I was so jacked about this deer, just because, I mean, there's like a 3-year buildup of shit talking.
Yeah, there was a
behind
lot
this
of
deer.
shit talk behind that deer.
So, it was a great experience, and I finally have something to hang on the buck wall at the
It's
cabin.
about time.
Yeah, because that's a tradition we have right now, is that every single buck that has ever been killed at the headquarters is on the wall in camp. So that's pretty cool. I finally get to put a buck on the wall.
Got a long way to go before you catch me, but
Yeah, Frank's got the record right now. But
And the most.
I have the most too.
and, oh yeah, you do. Yeah, what, 3?
3, yeah.
Yeah. Oof. I got a turkey though.
It's always the
in
argument.
a doe skull. I threw my doe skull on the wall. But now, yeah, they can say that I got the smallest one, but I got
you
one.
got one.
I got one. So
It can
screw
only
you
go up
guys,
from
I'm
here.
going home. No, it was a really cool experience. It was awesome to have Tommy there. I don't know. Last year was the first year in a long time I ate tag soup. And this year was a rough year for me.
You're dangerously close to eating tag soup.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you didn't have a whole lot of time
Yeah,
left.
and well, the thing is, like, I don't know what it was, but I shoot what gets me excited. And I passed bigger bucks than this year. I mean, straight up, I got video. I mean, I posted them on Instagram, a couple of the smaller bucks I passed, and I was cool with that. But this buck got me excited. Straight up, it got me excited, and I popped it.
Yeah,
That's
size
literally-
didn't matter at that
No,
point.
and I've never been somebody that, size mattered.
You're
to
not a
me.
size queen?
No, I've always said, hunt your hunt and shoot what gets you excited. And that's exactly what happened there. I took several videos this year of bucks in range that I just didn't get excited about. My first thought was grab my camera instead of my bow or my gun. And this one I saw, and I was like, grab your gun.
It's about to go down.
It's about to go down. That's exactly it. So popped them, and now I'm gonna can most of this deer, so we got plenty of food for the cabin. Be nice to talk about every time we eat at the cabin now. Be a good conversation piece.
Yeah.
Thank you. You can, thank me every time.
Big
we
buck
eat
hunter
at
coming through.
I did pull that card for quite a while.
Yeah, you did.
But yeah, so it was really cool to, like, after a long season of not killing anything, finally, in December, got it done. Because I was grinding hard this year. I did a lot of hunting, and to finally fill a tag, I was like,
Finally.
a lot of relief.
Yeah.
And it was, like I said, it was really cool to have Tom with me there. And he didn't want to gut it, but that's all right. I did a pretty
He
good
did
job.
offer.
Yeah. I just think that's kind of like a gentleman thing to do.
Yeah,
'Cause,
you
I mean,
always
if somebody
offer-
really wants to gut, I wouldn't take it away from them.
Yeah, exactly.
So I made sure, Tom, if you want, it's there. And he said, no, Nick, I'll let you do it. So
He actually left the tenderloins in this one, which was nice.
yeah, I did. I've gutted a deer under 4-wheeler headlights, and with a pocket knife, and it did not go well. Got the guts out and more.
And more.
But
This one went well, though.
No, this one actually went really well.
Had tenderloins that night.
Yeah, we did. Delicious tenderloins, if I might say so myself. Wanted to eat the heart, but there wasn't one. So
Yeah, and that was the day I got back from North Carolina, too, because I
Yeah.
literally... You called me like 5 minutes after I pulled in the driveway, and I was still unloading the truck when you called, and I was like, yeah, call me when you're home. I'll be right there.
Yeah, because the
That makes
headquarters
sense
is...
because I was getting ready to ask Frank, like, because Nick was saying, oh, I was real glad Tom was there. I was about to ask Frank, like, hey, well, why weren't you there? But
I was doing something. I wasn't just being a bum.
No,
He was out hunting bucks.
Monster bucks.
Yeah. Now, I feel bad because, like, my dad, he was going to come up with us, and... he ended up having some other work to get done, and then he's regretting, I should have been there, but it's all right. We all partied in the barn.
Same thing happened with my archery buck up there.
Yeah.
Were you? Yeah, it was
Frank was
us
there.
three
And Joe.
Yeah.
Buddy Joe Grimaldi. He's the one we did our big hunt with up in New York this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that was a good time too.
For sure.
But cabin, it's been
real.
It's been a really good experience there. We got Shooter's Tavern open now, 24 hours. So if you guys are
If
ever
you
in
see
the
the
area,
light on,
yeah,
Swing by.
Yeah, we got really good pizza and wings.
mixed nuts.
Yeah, we mixed nuts. Yeah, all of it. Plenty of beer, lots of whiskey.
Yeah.
I made my last deer into meat sticks, so can't have a bar without meat sticks.
Nope, pretzel rods and meat sticks. It's gonna be a steady diet there, and canned deer meat.
I look forward to it.
It's gonna be a good time in
Me
camp.
too.
a body
Booking
cleanser.
hunts now.
Leave a comment for your chance to win a hunt.
I'll let you run the logistics on that.
All right.
We'll do a trade a hunt. See if there's anybody out in Illinois that wants to trade a hunt.
Yeah.
Honestly, if I had an outfit in Illinois, I would trade a hunt and climber in a heartbeat.
I would too. Big bucks taken out of Chautauqua County. Had a 190 taken out of there a couple years ago. So
There was a 26 point taken out of there this year.
Yeah.
yeah, and that one was like pretty close. There was a 140 killed in the same block.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, they're up there. That spike isn't getting any bigger though. Tell you that right now.
That was his day.
It's as big as he gonna get.
Rack said, or Body said 3.5. Rack said 1.5.
You said you don't want to sound stupid by saying it was a big deer, but like
It really was.
I walked into the barn, and I was in North Carolina, like I said, and the deer are obviously a lot smaller down there. But I walked in and I looked at the deer and I was like, am I just like seeing things because I'm so used to looking at these smaller deer, or is that like a really big spike? Like
That's like I said. I don't want to sound like an idiot by calling a spike
Yeah.
big because
We've processed enough deer to
yeah,
where we know.
I know, but like
typically what a
anybody
spike
that,
looks like.
somebody that's listening could easily think like these guys are idiots, but
Well, then let them think it.
it's not like we're saying it was a 200-pound deer.
No.
No, but-
when you think of a spike, this was bigger.
yeah,
Yeah.
Well, that's probably the best way to put it. I don't
Yeah.
want to say we're not saying this is a 200-pound deer, but when you think of a spike, it was bigger than that.
A lot bigger. It was
Yeah.
a big
So-
spike.
I was surprised when I walked into
Yeah.
the barn.
As was I.
Yeah, it was a good time though. Either way,
And we're glad we could finally have you on a deer camp series,
yeah.
Nick.
Like I said, they all said it wouldn't happen. They said it couldn't be done. I got shit all year for not producing.
I was very doubtful.
Yeah, everybody was. There's a lot of doubts coming this year. Sam getting us a badass intro, Nick shooting a deer. I know it's crazy.
Yeah.
We had that teaser where I shot a deer and somebody else tagged it before I got to it.
Rascals.
It was a wild season for me, but it ended on a high note,
Sure
and
did.
I'm ready to start scouting for next year now.
Heck yeah.
After talking to Scott 2 episodes ago, and get some cameras out.
Start doing some shed hunting here in the
yeah.
next couple months.
I know I put his link in 2 episodes ago to get those wood hoods. But for people that are listening in our area, I was at Dave's Archery and saw that Scott has a display there. You can get the wood hoods right there at Dave's Archery. So if you're local and you want to pick them up just at a shop, you don't want to wait for shipping or whatever, you can go right over to Dave's, and he's got them. He's got the ghillie bands. I can't remember what the ghillie something. Sorry.
The ghillie band?
Yeah, I think it's ghillie band.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that's
they're
what he calls them.
yeah, there too. So I mean, he's got a little display on how it works and whatnot. So if you want to pick it up there, or you can order it straight from Turks and Tines. But yeah, so there's that. I don't know. That's about it, really.
Yeah, but we're
Just to appreciate the opportunity to finally do a deer camp series.
We appreciate it too.
I'm
Nick.
sure people are glad it's back.
Yeah, everyone was missing it.
Yeah, I think the Deer Camp series were pretty fun.
I had a good time.
Just because, like, you know, in the middle of the season is not the time to be learning your tactics, I don't think.
It's nice to just hear
Yeah,
deer camp
exactly.
stories.
You know, hear some stories of bucks getting killed, does getting killed. It all helps. So this year we're going to bring on some more guests and try and learn some new things, and hopefully you guys can learn some stuff with us. So
Some stuff that will help you get outside.
It will. Yeah, you heard it there, folks. Get outside.